Well, fans, tonight's main event, a huge deal. Macho Man Randy Savage has reunited with Miss Elizabeth, and he will be facing superstar Billy Graham in tonight's main event.
Tonight's Rage main event is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, along with the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, from Paradise Valley, Arizona, weighing 275 pounds, superstar Billy Graham.
Well, superstar pressed into service once again by the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, set to face Macho Man Randy Savage, and Myron, I literally fell out of my chair when I heard that Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth had reunited.
Not clear on all the details. All I do know is that Randy Savage got on the phone to Miss Elizabeth, they spoke, and now they're back together. What that means for the future, well, it could mean a lot of things. Hopefully something very, very good.
Certainly can only serve to improve the flagging career of Macho Man Randy Savage here in the Legends Division in RWL.
It could be a total game changer, Don. A game changer, I said.
His opponent, along with Miss Elizabeth, from Sarasota, Florida, weighing 260 pounds, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Well, up to this point, we had seen Macho Man Randy Savage come out to the ring with Ronda Rousey of Bell Unlimited, and with Scott Bell not around this week. What do you suppose that means?
I bet it means Scott Bell didn't know about it. And if he's watching right now, this would be the first he's hearing about it. Not sure what his reaction would be, but since it'd probably be a negative reaction. Too Short's control of Savage up to now has been unquestioned, but Elizabeth has always been a driving force for Randy, behind the scenes, and I promise you, anything that loosens his control of Randy Savage will only be seen as a bad thing. Damn, I can't wait till the little sniveler comes back.
Me neither. By the way, Christy, way to go controlling your language.
Yes, indeed, Christy, your decorum has certainly been admirable. Well, what a main event we've got going here. The superstar and the Macho Man ready to mix it up. Referee Charles Lucero sounds the bell. Off we go. Collar and elbow. Superstar with the upper hand. Has Savage up over the shoulders in the fireman's carry, but Savage delivers a series of elbows. Nails him with the right. They lock up again. Graham slams Savage head into the far right turnbuckle. Nails him with a hard right. Graham drives Savage into the buckle a second time. And this turns him around. He's going to go for it again. Well, now, Randy Savage seated in the far right corner. And superstar Graham putting the boots. The Macho Man Randy Savage, the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, looking on. Miss Elizabeth standing at ringside. Wow. This is something we haven't seen for a long time. Oh, whoa, over onto the apron. Randy Savage counters Graham with a right. They lock up. Graham once more, escorting Savage towards the ropes. Gets a hold of him and choking him with the top rope. The Grand Wizard of Wrestling already going onto the apron, wasting absolutely no time whatsoever. And knows what he's got over there on the outside. Superstar Graham, annoyed by the fans who are booing him vociferously. Spinning punch takes Savage down to the canvas. Miss Elizabeth sitting ringside, looking very, very concerned. Oh man, an elbow across the back of the head from superstar Billy Graham. Graham follows it up with a stomp. Graham slowly rounds up the Macho Man, nails him with another discus punch. Oh, Randy Savage is busted open already. Savage shoves Graham away, grabs a hold of him, hard whip to the ropes, and a hip toss from Macho Man. Here's a cover. One, but only just a one. Graham kicking out with the greatest of ease. Takes a moment to the outside, back inside. They lock up. Savage with the upper hand this time. Oh, look at this. The Grand Wizard Disengaging the turnbuckle, Graham head first into the turnbuckle, hoisted on his manager's own petard. Look at this. Graham counters, escapes the corner, gets a hold of Savage. Savage counters with another series of elbows to the midsection of Superstar Graham. They lock up again. Savage has him up, drops him head first onto the steel a second time. And Superstar Billy Graham is going to have words for the Grand Wizard about that turnbuckle after this match is over. Savage pays back the favor with a discus punch of his own. The Grand Wizard of Wrestling, realizing he's pulled a boner here and getting into it with Macho Man Randy Savage, hoping that Superstar Graham will regain consciousness soon enough. But he is running out of time. Randy Savage goes right back on the attack, delivers a stomp to the leg, moves in on Graham, gets a hold of him again, whips him to the ropes this time, and a spinning elbow takes Graham down to the canvas center ring. Macho Man Randy Savage rounds up Graham again. The referee finally fixing that turnbuckle. Here's a vertical suplex from the Macho Man. Meanwhile, Graham counters Savage, slams him face first to the canvas by his arm. Here's a kick to the Macho Man. Superstar Graham with a clubbing overhand right to Randy Savage, followed up with a stomp to the shoulder. Miss Elizabeth looking it is a sight to see Miss Elizabeth back at the side of Macho Man Randy Savage once again. Superstar Billy Graham takes himself to the top of the far right turnbuckle. Randy Savage is laid out. The Grand Wizard of Wrestling again disengaging that turnbuckle. You'd think he'd have learned his lesson by now. Double axe handle across the head of Macho Man Randy Savage. Graham nails him with a double axe handle. And again, that turnbuckle with the exposed steel could be a factor here. A clothesline to the back of the head of the Macho Man. Savage quickly back up, taken down with another clothesline from Graham. Superstar Graham stamps the face, probably in the injured area of Macho Man Randy Savage. And now a blatant choke right in front of referee Charles Lucera. Miss Elizabeth looking extremely concerned. Graham winds it up. There's an elbow drop across the back of the head of Macho Man Randy Savage. Here's a cover. 1, 2. But only a 2. Randy Savage powering out. Graham delivers a stomp to the back of the head. Superstar Graham draws a knee into the back of the head of Macho Man Randy Savage. Follows that up with a stomp. And so far, running elbow takes Graham down. There's an elbow drop across the chest, and the momentum seems to be shifting towards Randy Savage here. He locks up Graham. Nails him with a knee right to the skull. Randy Savage moving in quickly on Superstar Graham. Has to work fast here. Vertical suplex on the Superstar. Randy Savage coming back aggressively here. Drops an elbow across the leg of Graham. Randy Savage with a scoop slam on the Superstar. The Grand Wizard once again realizing his man could be in trouble. And the Wizard getting into it with Randy Savage, trying to create a distraction here. Waiting for Graham to get back on his feet. But it is too late. Randy Savage paying back the favor with a blatant choke right in front of the ref. Savage with a hard right takes Graham down to the canvas. Graham rolls to the outside. Randy Savage, here he comes through the ropes. Whoa! Shoulder tackle. Taking Graham down to the floor. Macho Man rallying the troops. And I'll tell you what, Randy Savage looks dialed in since he's gotten Miss Elizabeth back. There's a gouge to the face of Superstar Graham. Graham pitched into the barricades towards the ramp. Savage rolls himself back in. Referee Charles Lucera continues the count and has to re-engage it all over again, with Randy Savage stepping to the outside to get a hold of Graham. The Superstar counters with elbows to the midsection. Graham locks him up. Gets a hold of Savage. Hurls him right into the barricade in the corner. Graham gathers him up again. Savage puts on the brakes and whoa, there's a forearm. Quickly going behind. Pitches Graham towards the other side of the outside of the ring. The referee trying to get them back in the ring, but no good so far. Another rolling elbow across the chest of Superstar Graham. Macho Man tags him with a right that spins him around. He goes behind, rear waist lock into a headlock and a headlock punch. Down goes Graham. And he looks like he's in pain. Macho Man Randy Savage definitely looking very, very good at this point in the match, regaining momentum for himself, but he's got to get Graham back inside that ring. And he finally does. Graham rolls back inside. Savage rolls himself in. Graham in a lot of pain here, as Randy Savage gathers him up again. Locks him up, collar and elbow, has him up. Oh, inverted atomic drop right in the store. Here's a cover. 1, 2. And somehow, some way, Superstar Graham powering out of that pin. Savage locks up Graham. Gets a hold of him. Goat wrench suplex from the Macho Man, who is quickly making his way to the top turnbuckle. Graham laid out center ring. Here it goes. Randy Savage calling for it. Here it is. A big time elbow drop from the Macho Man. And this could be the end right here. 1, 2. But no. Graham getting the left shoulder up. Macho Man Randy Savage, with the support of the fans here in Saskatoon, something we haven't seen in a long, long time. Superstar Billy Graham getting back up on his feet. Savage gets a hold of him. Hard whip to the ropes for Graham. And a back body drop from Macho Man Randy Savage. A kick to Superstar, who rolls to the outside. Randy Savage looks like he's warming it up again. Here he comes through the ropes, and Superstar Graham just sidestepped. Face first, a face plant for Randy Savage. Savage opens up with a couple of shots. Graham quickly counters with a knee to the midsection. The referee counting again, shoves Savage down to the ground. Superstar Graham rounds him up, has him by the trunks, vertical suplex on the outside. Miss Elizabeth looking very, very concerned about Macho Man Randy Savage, who is laid out on the outside as Graham makes his way back inside the ring. Savage slowly making his way back up to a standing position. And Superstar Graham, looking like he's got control of things again, gets a hold of Savage. Hard whip to the ropes. Another elbow to the face of the Macho Man. Superstar Graham going to work on a downed Randy Savage right now. Superstar Graham in control at the present time, twisting the head and neck of Macho Man Randy Savage. Slams his head down to the mat. Graham moves in again, delivers a kick to the leg. And Randy Savage, in desperation, trying to get back up to his feet in the corner. Graham charges. There's a clothesline that takes Savage down to the canvas. And Superstar Graham now stalking the Macho Man. Gets a hold of him into an attempted bear hug. Randy Savage resisting for all he is worth. Graham can't seem to get him up off the ground for the full contact bear hug. But it is no use. He has just released the hold. He may have already done quite enough damage. Randy Savage is laid out. Graham with a kick to the back. Goes for the cover and hooks the leg here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, my goodness. Superstar Billy Graham picks up the win by pinfall.
Here's the time. 10 minutes and 9 seconds. And your winner, Superstar Billy Graham.
Don't it just figure, you two? The one time I want to see Macho Man Randy Savage pick up a win, and he doesn't get it. Superstar Graham pulling off an upset here in tonight's main event.
So, maybe it was an inauspicious start, but just the same, Randy Savage has Miss Elizabeth back, and she's gonna rally behind him, and maybe, just maybe, mind you, get the man back on track again. But still, there's still Scott Bell to be considered. What is his reaction gonna be to this reunion? Will he embrace it, or try and undermine it? Given his track record, well, like I said before, he's probably not going to approve of anything that loosens his control over Randy Savage. Damn, it would have been awesome to see him pick up this win.
So fans, that brings to a close this week's edition of RWL Rage. As always, we thank all of you for joining us. And be sure to join us on Saturday, August the 30th, for RWL Snarl with Hangman Tex Lynch, Wally Cardell, and Johnny Bianco. In anticipation of the upcoming Labor Day Slamathon, there will be no midweek show this week. For all of us here at RWL, I've been Don Hickson saying thank you. We'll see you next time at ringside. Good night, everybody.